able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition, months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return, glory to be had in the event of success. That's a job description if I ever saw one. Let's do it. All right, here we go. It's time to try and survive the Pale Beyond. We played this demo a while back, absolutely loved it, and the full game is out today. So let's jump in, see if we can survive. Oh, goodness. We're going to start a new expedition. Branches 1 out of 40. Oh, ooh, I like that. That's tantalizing. That's cool. That makes me feel like I want to replay this to get all of the branches. Oh, the air bees cold. Oh, the air bees cold of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. Ooh, we have to the ice they'll pray that leads reveal. Out in the ice they'll stake claim, that in the dark they'll brace themselves. I feel like, you know what? I don't know why the in the dark they'll brace themselves. That hits me in the core. That sounds great. For horrors still ahead. Great, by great I mean powerful. Of homes they'll dream, to the souls around, of glory found. Let's do of homes they'll dream. Of warmth long lost, and chased to frost world's edge. A hunger draws the desperate here. Woo! Chills. It's one that can't be fed. Such lonely souls need led. Its calling sows disbread. I love this. Such lonely souls need led. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods. I'll do what must be done indeed. I'll learn to live a life out here. I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Oh, and we've been sinking deeper and deeper under the ice, which doesn't bode well for our, at least, first journey. There's the Temperance. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition, months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return, glory to be had in the event of success. That's a job description if I ever saw one. Let's do it. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. I'd rather coffee. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. It's harmless. I'm not too fussed about it. Simple reminder of the time you've spent waiting. The room is sweltering, the air stiff and stale. Keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. I'm going to stay standing. I feel like we're in the office of a military person, and that would feel a bit more respectful. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the deck. Do you have all your teeth? Sorry? Sorry. Answer the question, please. I have enough to get by. I have enough to get by. Scurvy. Can't be never too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. I've not had scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. And I am Shaw. Okay, so it's not... The captain is captain. I am Shaw. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? I mean, if I'm speaking honestly, none. Meaning you're either perfect for the job, a liar, or you've never been in command. That's fair. I don't know if I'm perfect for the job, and I'm not lying, so yeah, never commanded a ship before, no. If I was a liar, would I be in this room? The latter. I'll be honest, it's the latticed one. Really? Command tests a person's mettle. Do you think you're ready? Is anyone really ready? Some more than others, it would seem. Please, take a seat. Thank you. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. I'm Captain Hunt. All right, the pleasure is mine. Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk, which ship is that? So what's the job then? Or wait for him to continue. I'd ask. I don't think he would like it. I think he'd probably be like, we got to get to business. But I'm interested in what's on his desk. This. Detailed, isn't she? Incredibly. An old sailor superstition. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. Glory to be had, am I right? Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The advert said, I joke that the advert said there was glory to be had, but I don't think that would be a good thing to say in what essentially is a job interview. So I'm just going to keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? It's to be expected, surely. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Character creation time. All right. Landborn, I'm from the city. Saltborn, ocean, the same as yourself. Mixed, if I knew I'd tell you. I've been all over. I'm going to go I've been all over, because that does kind of speak to me in real life. Muttwash, oh God. But I'm here now. Muttwash, plenty of those joining, myself included. Hey, bonding. Military experience. Colonel, Royal Admiralty. Sailed the merchant lines, only evading them. I'm going to go with... I feel like it would be prudent to have that military experience, but I also feel like for survival, perhaps a little bit of merchant business sense may be good to have. Sailed the merchant lines, 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Anything we could get our hands on. Fruit, mostly, and I knew better than to ask. Let's say fruit. I love fruit. Honest work. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes, technically. Sure. Why not? Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? No. You're not married, are you? Happily, of course not. That's irrelevant. You know what? I'm just gonna say yeah, happily. And you're sure they'll be fine with you leaving for this long? We've been through worse. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving any family in the first place. Yours is counting on that. Let him continue. We're here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? No. Enlighten me, because I have forgotten. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition toward the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. Did they? Did they what? Did they complete their research? Oh, yes. I have no idea. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. And we're supposed to be chasing that research? Exactly. All right, well, I'm going to let him continue. Not going to interrupt at this point. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now? Why are we doing this now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Where are they now? Dead. But their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. What of our crew? Quite the mix, a work in progress. Some I've known for years. They get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. Any impress you? That remains to be seen. Oh God, I hope I impress you. We do have transport, though. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty, greenwood, generational. Not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They're sister ships. Oh God, that feels a bit auspicious. Built together, sent out in this world to die alone. Poetic? Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. You're not what I expected. And what did you expect? We're more than our mistakes, Robin. Let people surprise you. This feels like something I should remember. I'll see you on the Temperance. I have a good feeling about you, Shaw. The feeling is mutual. The captain makes his way to the door, and you follow. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Oh, I love the water sounds. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side spelling Temperance. Oh, now we started interacting. Here we go. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. He's unable to place you. May I have your name? I'm Robin Shaw. It's the first person I meet. I'm not gonna get on his bad side. Excuse me, I'm not gonna get on his bad side by saying, address me properly. Not about that. Oh, of course. That would make you the captain's first choice for first mate, correct? I'm Mr. Templeton. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I am also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Oh, what do you specialize in? Applied botany. Not much use for a botanist on the ice. Oh, that's not very nice. Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. Honestly, though, botany would be super important. Plants, nutrients, I don't know much about sailing. Don't tell the captain, but that seems like it would be really important. I expect you to be up to the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable, at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You are second only to Captain Hunt himself, though I must warn you that you have quite the task at hand. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. You speak like you're in charge. You know what? None of these are super great, but you know what? I'm a pretty organized person, I would say, so I'm going to say I doubt there will be much issue. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it would first seem. Let me know when you are ready to depart. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. And now we've got a module up here. It says week 0 morning, and we can see the temperature -10 Celsius with 2 frost snowflakes highlighted, so that's interesting. We've got a young man here on the dock. Stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else to interact with. We'll look back towards the city. You will be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. And my family. I did say I was happily married. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate. It is a beautiful ship. Near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. I think we might be ready. There's nothing else to do on the dock but head out and set sail. Beautiful. Week 1. 2 hours later. The pale beyond! Yay! We have begun our journey into the unknown. It's been a month. A hunger draws the desperate here. Such lonely. Oh, okay, this is my log. First Mate Shaw personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. Okay, it's been 1 week. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. The Temperance, who's paying for this? Captain Hunt. I am curious. The benefactor is sort of the one thing I don't know. I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all of this. Certainly not the captain. The crew, however, are a different story. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. They smell terrible! Crew are a strange lot, eclectic as the ship itself. I've never seen a ship like this before. She's magnificent. A technical marvel, elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day, reborn for this mission, breathing again with life. She's simply magnificent. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. I trust the captain. He seems trustworthy. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. I've heard the rumors. Drinking, desertion. There's probably a good reason he's dressed in antiques. Perhaps I'm too quick to judge. Alright, so we trust the captain. He seems like a good man, but at this point, in this part of the world, or where we're headed, good men aren't enough. We need someone who can lead. He said as much in the interview. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. I'll head there now. He leaves. Okay, so the yellow right here is where I'm supposed to go. I wonder if I can explore elsewhere. The forecastle door appears to be locked, and the door to Hunt's cabin is shut tight. Nope, I guess I can't. Let's do a view of the crow's nest. Let's peek up there. The crow's nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at next port. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Hey, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. Stays like these, I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. I'm curious, why? Do you just enjoy it? Do you miss it? Do you want to, what is it? Make the crew like you because you're endearing yourself by doing some work? Can't afford to go rusty in my old age. Never know when you're going to have to get your hands dirty. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you have a try? Yeah, okay, I'll take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. There's nothing to hit. I feel like there's little if nothing that could go wrong, right? Use the mouse to pan around, okay? The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Right, we can zoom. Oh, this is beautiful. Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming speeds can be adjusted in the settings menu. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink in the morning. Read the rumors about him being drunk, and that slipped right out. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Not drink in the morning. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Okay. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor, a luxury to be had on the ice. A classical painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. An ode to a folk story known to all Captain Seamus? Or was it Hamish? Okay, so I got a little bit of that lore because of the character trait that I chose. On the desk, you make out a variety of papers, notes, and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tinning Company. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Oh, yeah, you can see the ropes. That's cool. The clock has turned to midday. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. You are only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at the next port. A lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will tear itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Ooh, we have enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. Crew members will become malnourished and develop scurvy should you end the week with no food left in the hoosh pot for the week. Hoosh pot. And there's more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Crew members will become freezing and develop frostbite should you end the week with no food left in the hoosh pot. Alright, so food is important. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. They will rest and become available between the weeks. Now on to work. All right, here we go. We're meeting the crew. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? Right. I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside the crate? I did, sir. Ha! How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true. I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jibum from your bowsprit? Oh, shoot, I don't. I do. I learned it all from my da. Your da? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, Shaw? Hunt eyes you up. Your first mate, what should we do with him? I'd keep him aboard. He's a kid. Teach him up. Make him useful. Hunt squints. You need all the help you can get. This man wants to help. He's asking me why. He's clearly here because his father is. We don't have time to accommodate this. If the boy wants to freeze to death, let him. You know what? If he wants to help, I'm going to go with that. That was my reasoning. This young man wants to help, and I'd say we let him. All right, boy. Consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will. Thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. The stowaway joins the 2 sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Now, this is interesting because now we have not accounted for that extra person. We may have to make hard decisions later because we kept this kid. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. What of the father? Simple, split their pay and rations. I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. We can always choose to split rations later. I suppose you're right. Well, that matter's sorted. Cordell. Puppy! Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel. It's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a sailor made such strong demands. What exactly are these demands? Let's get the whole picture here. She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None on the ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You see my dilemma, Shaw. Just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see the harm. We might be eating a little bit tight, smaller meals, but I think it would be foolish to not have an expert with the dogs, especially if they're supposed to collect us resources. The benefit of having them collect more resources and be safer and survive, I think, would outweigh the extra rations. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. The deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them, and I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. All right. I hope you're experienced as you claim. No, I'm not going to be shady about this. I will trust a person until they prove otherwise. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. I mean, splitting hairs here. Come on, I advocated for you. Be nice to me. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. Honestly, smart. Probably the warmest place on the ship. Hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. All right, 14 available dogs. Hell yeah. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You couldn't mistake them for another. An urgent matter? Not at all. Nothing you should concern yourself with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Okay, all right, I shall do that. Let's see, we've got, question mark here, a figure balancing on the mast. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balance on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. I'll wait for her to finish. It's a small ship, she'll see me. She clambers down, noticing you in her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of the ship. Kasha Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasha. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there? Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasia Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There's scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. Her accomplishments surely outweigh her youth. Her proof is all we have. She's not prepared for this. I mean, all of these are maybe true, but I want to lean on she is the one who's documenting this. Unless we devise a way to bring the Viscount back with us, her proof is all we have. The cold game. Picture that as a header. What? For the piece on this voyage. I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. I mean, this isn't a game, Kasia. An expedition like this isn't light business. Kasia nods eagerly, but you can tell she's not really listening. Oh, right, of course. It's thrilling, though, isn't it? I suppose in your experience, the open ocean is the home of the mundane? Though I suppose you never traveled this far south on the merchant lines. You know who I am? Of course! I thoroughly researched the crew of the Temperance. May seem somewhat excessive, but I feel it's necessary for a proper chronicling. That and plenty of pictures. Don't worry, Shaw. You don't have a reputation that sets you apart from the rest. A celebrity like Kurt Darling's presence will dwarf any rumors that could form around you. Kurt Darling? Who's that? That reminds me. He'll be joining us at next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasia holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. Cheese! How long do they take to develop? Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Thank you. All right, we've got sailors. It looks like we've already got portraits of a few folks. Scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists, resource cards, and key items. All right, very cool. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. I'll see what I can do. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I want to get before the sun lowers, anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. You leave her to her work. Okay. Well, that's good. I didn't have to say it. She already knew. You spot a large man with a youthful gait carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Ah, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. Two Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. Two Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with two hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. All right, we added another person to the manifest. Let's see if the forecastle is open. Nope. The kennel master is preparing the room inside. And it looks like, again, we're just in the middle of nowhere, so let's just descend below deck. Meet a few more folks. I see no one here, so let's keep going down to the middeck. Seems like everyone's hanging out here. No one invited me to the party. Let's approach the accordionist. One of the crew, a red-headed man with a thick beard, sits proud playing on an ivory accordion. He spots you and seizes and is playing. Need something? Nice accordion, do you mind? I feel like that's a little bit too familiar. I was just looking for the Stoke brothers. Emergency? Grimly pseudonym? Just a meeting with Hunt. You're speaking to one of them. Grimly Stoke. We'll head up after dinner. You can go now. Oh, geez. okay. The man gestures to the cook across the room before resuming his playing. You know, a little bit just sullen towards me, not super friendly, but that's okay. We will have a lot of time to earn his trust and become best of friends. Oh, interesting. I can't talk to the other guy now. Okay, let's call the crew for dinner. The crew have their meal. Oh man, the scraping of the spoons and the dishes, that's honestly making me hungry. It passes in relative silence. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Okay, well let's talk with the family here. Over dinner, you overhear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with the one-armed man. But your lucky hunt didn't throw you overboard. Have a mind to do that. Oh. I wonder if the kid's stowed away, especially because his dad only has one arm, and he's feeling like my dad needs help. I need to make sure I'm there for him. Come on, I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. All right, Doug and Timmy, I see. Looks like we can't go anywhere else here. Let's see. Oh, we've got a crewmate here. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that's been pulled from a cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossily. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. A bottle of wine, actually. Oh, no. I'm nervous because I wonder if it got confiscated by the captain. I'm not gonna accuse anyone. Not gonna accuse the sailors or him of taking it or drinking on the job. I'll just say it can't be hard to miss. It will turn up eventually. We are on a boat. I would hope so. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Okay. Also, now we learned Dwight is married. Well, what is this? Enter your cabin. Ah, open your journal. Okay, we won't do that quite yet. Let's keep going up. Whoa, sunset. Dang, that's beautiful. Okay, Templeton's there, but let's look at the ocean real fast. As you look out over the railing out to the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand, overlooking the stirring waters. Alright, looking at something. Who are you? Tashi. After introducing himself, Tashi falls silent and begins to read the letter, which is interesting because, again, my character did note that sailors don't often know how to read. Trying to draw conversation from him may be similar to extracting teeth. Alright, well, again, we have lots of time to get to know one another. You spot Templeton, looking out into the sunset. As you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite the change. I noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin, and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There is great expectation upon us, officer. From who? Who is this benefactor of ours? That is not for you to know. Not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection on the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight. But I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It is important that the first officer be well rested. Use E to advance to the next week. Here we go. 1 week down. Food rations are normal. Fuel spend is normal. Now, I have the ability to double it to half it, but that will lower the morale. The fuel ration will also lower the morale. I think for now, nothing bad has happened yet, knock on wood, and we're going to keep it at normal. I think we were supposed to have stopped somewhere to pick up crewmates. I would hope that we would also pick up food. We shall see. Confirm. The ship makes its last port at Orca Island. The sledding dogs are picked up. The scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. And the days are getting brighter as you move further south. Well, I think that's the perfect time to end this episode. We will start the next week in the next episode. Let me know if you enjoy this. I'm super excited to play some Pale Beyond and see if we can survive going to the South Pole and back. Basically, I think that's basically where we're headed. So you can find me on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube at Kimchica. I love to highlight indie games, help you find your next favorite, enjoy them with you through Let's Plays like this, and really help build a conversation and atmosphere like a cozy cafe online. So please find me, follow me on all those platforms. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, that you're finding lots of games to play, and I'll see you next time in the cafe. Bye!